Good afternoon and welcome everyone. It's wonderful to see all of your faces, albeit on Zoom. It's still fantastic that you're all here this afternoon. My name is Dr. Trista O'Connell and I'm the Interim Director of the Center for Scholars here at Cal State Fullerton. Again, I'm happy to meet with you all today and to discuss the Center for Scholars and especially the Guardian Scholars program here. Before we begin with our discussion, I would actually like to introduce to you one of our special guests this evening, and that is the Executive Director for Special Populations, Dr. Rochelle Woods.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am here actually on behalf of Dr. Tinatsin Osigria, who is our Vice President for Student Affairs. Unfortunately, she had something come up at the last moment, and so she was unable to join us, but did want to convey to each and every one of you, thank you for your support of the Guardian Scholars program. It's one that we've been very fortunate to have for over 20 years on our campus. In fact, we are one of the first Guardian Scholar programs in the country. So we have a very, very rich history of supporting our former foster youth here at Cal State Fullerton. And we also just want to thank our donors who are on the call today, because without your support, we could not run this program. And it definitely makes a difference in the lives of the students here. So wanted to say thank you to you all. Wanted to say thank you to the students who are with us today for sharing their stories and telling about the experience they've had with not just the Guardian Scholars, but also the Center for Scholars in general. But wanted to welcome you and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Woods. And I also see that we have another very special guest who's on our call, the First Lady of Cal State Fullerton, Julie Vergie. And Julie, I didn't know if you wanted to say anything to the group or not.
Just so good to see everybody and to be able to gather all these gorgeous faces and human beings in one place, albeit on Zoom. Just students, you're remarkable. Donors, we are so grateful. And of course, our fantastic scholar staff is over the top and in all the resources that you do to help our students. So I can't wait to see you all in the center soon. I love popping in there. So I will see you soon.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, so the format for today, we've actually divided up. So we are going to spend just a small portion of the time providing you with a brief overview of the Center for Scholars, and then we'll dive into the specifics of the Guardian Scholars program. And then we will spend the majority of the time with a student panel where you will actually get to hear from the scholars directly as they talk about their experiences here at Cal State Fullerton, as well as the Center for Scholars. So Jamie, if you can go ahead with the slides, do we have those up? Great, thank you. If you can go to the next one. Great, thank you. Okay. All right, so the mission for the Center for Scholars is that we really focus on cultivating a culture of inclusion that embraces diversity and individual uniqueness. We do this by providing transformational learning opportunities that encourage broader learning, leadership, and personal growth for our students, the scholars in particular, in the center as they go through each year that they're here at Cal State Fullerton, as well as preparing them post-graduation. In looking at the transformational opportunities that we provide class level programming, and we do this by honing in on each year that they're here. We provide them with specific training and development and opportunities so that we can really develop them academically, professionally, and personally, especially so in terms of career readiness as well as graduate school prep. We also circle around opportunities that are transformational that hone in on their leadership development. Again, things that are really going to that lifelong and learning. And we also ensure that we're creating community with everything, all the programming that we do here in in the center. We understand, and we've seen the research, that students do perform better academically the more time they're actually on campus. And so we really want to foster a sense of community here in the Center for Scholars, as well as at Cal State Fullerton. And so we really tie our students into those various programming here in the center and also on campus. Additionally, we provide holistic support to our students. You know, we do. If you look to the image on the right-hand side, you can see how we have the education and academic bubble here. Again, our primary focus is ensuring that we see students succeed in their classes each semester and that they matriculate, each semester and each year as they progress towards graduation. And we want our students to graduate. However, we do understand that challenges that many of our students, especially our guardian scholars, may encounter can impact their academic success. And so we do provide them and set them up with various resources and support here in the center so that we can ensure that they do not have housing insecurities or food insecurities. And also we know they have a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety. And so we do make sure that we connect them with our counseling center and our liaison here within the center to ensure that they're receiving that support. And so within looking at the Center for Scholars model, you can see that we provide them with that holistic support that is on the individual level, along with that class level programming. Again, in order for them to thrive.
And my name is Jamie Hamilton. I'm the Assistant Director in the Center for Scholars, and I will touch on the resources and support that we provide specifically for our Guardian Scholars students. So in our Guardian Scholars program, we actually have two groups. We have a group of students that are receiving a full scholarship. And so this scholarship works in tandem with their financial aid awards to ensure that these students are receiving sufficient and beyond sufficient resources to be able to help them focus on their academics to achieve their goals and dreams and not have to take out student loans, take on excess work, those types of things. Through the generous donations, we are able to provide them those wonderful opportunities, which allows students to engage in leadership, professional development, finding some internships and things in their field that they may not have considered without that resource. Additionally, we started being able to provide our students that are not on the scholarship program book stipends. So we started doing this last spring, noticing that there were often gaps that the students were having in the availability of resources to them to pay for books. So it started with a small group of students getting the John Burton Book Fund, and then we were able to see the impact that that had and expanded to all of the students who are the students that are not receiving the scholarship. And this resource has made a big difference for the students in being able to get basic academic supplies and those resources, getting them delivered to their homes, especially during the pandemic. Being able to get those resources safely and easily was a wonderful thing for the students. And then through, we also provide our new scholars a laptop so they can choose between a Dell or PC laptop. A Dell or Mac laptop, excuse me, and that laptop is theirs for their academic use. And so that is another stressor that's relieved for the students. And our university provides a lot of resources for students to get free software and things like that. And because of this laptop resource, they're able to take advantage of those opportunities, stay up to date, have the resources that they need. And it worked out really well for those students who were having to do their classes virtually this time with us. So it's a wonderful program that we're able to provide them. And then additionally, we have had ongoing need for emergency support for students, but it was definitely heightened during the pandemic. And this last year, we were able to support 43 students with emergency needs. And they varied from things like, I just need, a little bit of support getting food because I have a gap between my employment and my unemployment resources, or different things. Sometimes it's rent, sometimes it's a larger challenge that students are facing. So it was good to be able to provide that to students. Through the Center for Scholars, we actually provide them a lot of support as well as all of our other scholar students. So we have a virtual center that we have been maintaining, which replicates a lot of the services we have here in the center, but also provides an online platform for them to communicate with us, to track their progress on their program requirements, to see our calendar and those types of resources all in one place, so they don't have to keep hunting through their emails. They have it all located centrally. We do provide them emails, as do so many folks here on campus, but we try to get them any way we possibly can to get information out to the students. We do monthly meetings with them. We also have advisors here in the center who can help them with academic planning and coaching, which is a wonderful resource. Our foster youth students get priority registration, and so we want to make sure that they're taking advantage of that opportunity to get in the classes that they need, to not lose spots in those classes. But that requires some early academic planning with the students, getting in front of them and with them before they're even thinking about the next semester, because it comes up at them real fast. And working with them early, they'll have the resources to know exactly what to sign up for and be able to make the right decisions for themselves. We also have the study space in the center, so a big lounge area that we adapt and modify for different activities and programs. We have a computer lab as well as free printing for the students. Our team provides a lot of social and developmental support through self-care activities, a Friendsgiving activity, and other activities throughout the year, but also some leadership and professional development that we'll talk about further on. I touched a bit on the emergency needs before, and then Trista also shared about our counseling and psychological services collaboration, which is a really wonderful resource for these students. Oops, excuse me. And then the academic support. So this is a program we've had ongoing, and we're expanding upon it with our students this year. We have a summer Smart Start program that initially started with the Guardian Scholars, is a community coming together and having some community building time, some orientation to campus, and now we've expanded that to include a 1-unit class for our incoming students. And then our transfer students engage in a in-depth course that Darcy actually facilitates with them. She teaches that activity with them. And so the students have tailored academic-based programming to help them come to campus, have the skills that they need, know how to access resources on campus. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to come break down some of the barriers they might have and be able to engage across campus without having to be concerned about, how do I navigate this? Who's my contacts? Where are the resources? They'll know all of that up front. We also work on a scholar to professional program. So that's working with the students at each class level to identify resources that they might need to advance to their professional goal, or helping them figure out what that professional goal even is. So we do a lot of work with the students there. We do have a retention specialist in the center who does help support our retention services, ensuring again that the students are enrolling in subsequent semesters, that they know about the resources that are available to them, and feeling that they have that support to continue to make progress on their degrees. And then the one fun thing is helping to celebrate them. So we do that through helping our seniors with senior activities, career and grad school prep. We celebrate them through our graduation ceremonies and providing them their regalia and other fun activities. We're excited to share we have 31 Guardian Scholars who are set to graduate this year. So that's a lot of Guardian Scholars graduating this year, which is wonderful to see them achieving their goals even in these challenging times. It's wonderful. And we also support our Guardian Scholars Student Association. So it's a student-led program and activity that Darcy is the advisor for. And we help them to develop their own leadership skills, create programming and activity. We kind of let them lead it, but we're there to support them with like the logistics sometimes, or providing advice and guidance on collaborating in team roles and things like that. So it's a great opportunity to see the students take leadership and create programming that engages their peers.
Okay, so who are, oh, did Carlos have a question? Oh, okay. Okay, so who are our Guardian Scholars? We have currently 58% identify as being Latinx, 67% identify as being female, 74%, so almost 3/4 of our Guardian Scholars are actually first-generation college students, meaning that they will be the first in their family to actually receive a college diploma. That's a 4-year college diploma. And 95% are actually receiving need based upon financial aid.
And I'm going to share a bit now about the academic performance of the Guardian Scholars. So all of our students do really well. Particularly in this last academic year, they really impressed us with their ability to complete their classes, to do well academically, which is really exciting. We had 91 Guardian Scholars at the end of spring 21, and on average, they completed 11 units in the spring term. Their cumulative GPA was 2.95. Their retention rate, so the students who were enrolled in spring 21 who expected to come back in fall 21, was 91%, which is pretty high. Persistence was the fall to spring number, and we had 97% from term to term. 12 of the Guardian Scholars were on the Dean's list, and 20 here graduated last year. And our graduation rate, so the number who we expected to graduate in that prior year was 95%. So it's a very high population there of students. And then below is highlighting some news articles that came out this last year about our Guardian Scholars. And I have the links for those. I will drop those in the chat if you want to read some of them. They're really inspiring and motivating stories to hear about what the students have been able to achieve and accomplish and make their goals and dreams come true. So it's always lovely to see their stories highlighted and to see them get that recognition about their goals that they're achieving.
Okay, the Center for Scholars actually is very fortunate in that we have a very robust and well-rounded team. You've met myself and Jamie Hamilton, the assistant director. We also have in the center Miguel Reyna, who is a retention specialist. This is very, very rare for a non-academic college to actually have a retention specialist housed within their department. We have a few on campus, and each one is assigned to a specific academic college. So you can think the College of Business or Natural Sciences and Mathematics and so forth. So Miguel actually, instead of focusing on thousands of students like the retention specialists do in the actual colleges, he's actually able to spend individualized time with all of our scholars and our Guardian Scholars in particular. So we're looking at a much smaller number, so we can actually spend more time with our students than students receive elsewhere on campus. We also have Alex Osorio. You can see just looking at the graph below. He is our CAPS case manager. He works in counseling services and counseling center and psychological services, and he is our CAPS liaison for the center. So again, instead of sending our students directly to CAPS, we can actually contact Alex directly, and he can meet with our students immediately when they're in time of crisis. Additionally, he provides a variety of workshops throughout the semester and year, everything from time management to dealing with test-taking anxiety, dealing with mindfulness. So he just really covers just a wide gamut of topics. So he's always available for our scholars, and we can always do a quick virtual walkover with them. We also do have 2 graduate students housed within the center. They're actually pursuing their master's in higher education, so they too will eventually become student services professionals. We also have, if you go back, thank you, Kenitsa Carrillo, who is our academic advising specialist, and we have Darcy Anderson, our senior program coordinator, and she actually is going to come on and actually moderate the student panel for you all.
Thank you so much, Trista. My name is Darcy Anderson. I'm the Senior Program Coordinator here at the Center for Scholars, as Trista mentioned. So I do academic and non-academic programming here in the center, as well as mentoring, coaching, advising here and there. I also facilitate our foster friendly ally training here on campus. So if you are ever interested in becoming a foster friendly ally, I know we do have some allies already in this room. I would love to have you join us. And I'm also the staff advisor for the Guardian Scholar Student Association. That club is currently dormant, not because we don't have interested students, but because all of our leadership graduated, which is a fantastic thing. Because one of the things we do know as allies is that while a large percentage of foster youth have a desire to go to college, only a small amount actually enroll, an even smaller amount attend. And it is only 4% of our Guardian Scholars who graduate. And the scholars in this room are helping to make that instead of the rule, the exception, and changing those numbers year by year. So I'm so excited to have 3 of our incredible scholars who I get to work with a lot, and I'm always excited to work with them here in this room. Unfortunately, one of them got called into work, so she will not be joining us, but we have Malia Motes, Karina Paloa, and Aaron Schoder. Aaron?
Shocker.
Schoder, one more time?
Shocker.
Shocker. I don't know why I trip up on that every time, Aaron. But
It's-
they're here and we are going to spend some time talking with them, and they're going to be sharing their experiences with you all. These scholars have been incredible in being part of our empowerment retreats in the past, being part of our student voice panels during foster friendly ally training, and are just greatly really involved in the center. So we're really excited to have them here. So first off, scholars, I would like you to introduce yourself with your name, your major, your class level, and some of your career interests and future goals.
All right. I'll go ahead and go first. My name's Malia. I am a 3rd-year psychology major with a minor in women and gender studies. I believe it was major, and then what year? And then what I plan on pursuing after college is going to grad school and hopefully getting my master's in counseling and becoming a school counselor one day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Malia. Who would like to go next? Karina, Aaron, one of the 2 of you. Karina.
Yeah, I'm Karina. This is my last semester, so I'm one of the graduating students. I was like Darcy was talking about the graduating people who graduated from the Guardian Scholars Association. I was one of I was the event planner, so like I'm one of the graduating ones. I'm the last one left. Excuse me. I'm planning to major in human resources. Sorry, I'm not planning. I'm majoring in human resources. And I'm actually planning to change my major, change my career choices up a little bit. I'm going to go back into higher education, and that's what I'm planning to do for my master's after a couple of years of working. That's me.
Awesome, Karina. Thanks so much. Aaron.
Hi, everyone. My name is Aaron. I do go by Aaron Polanco to make the name change a lot easier. I'm a 4th year at Cal State Fullerton with a major in business and a focus in general management, and I also minor in linguistics. So I'm hoping to find job opportunities in either of those fields, specifically for business, supply chain management, and for linguistics. I'm still early on in that area, so if I were to narrow it down, I would just like to do anything abroad, international. As far as grad school, I'm open to wherever the wind takes me if I do decide to go with that. But as for now, I do just plan on getting my MBA in, or my bachelor's in business.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Aaron. So the first question that I'd love for you to all to share on is, what are some of your best experiences as a Guardian Scholar at CSUF or the center, like with the Center for Scholars or at CSUF? So it could be things like an event you did, something social or academic, a program like I Am First, something that happened in the classroom, or other leadership roles that you've taken on. And go ahead, whoever wants to unmute and share first. Again, just some of your best experiences.
Yeah. I think some of my best experiences with Guardians, we're talking about solely Guardian Scholars, correct?
Can be either. Can be either.
I always talk about this event, but it just really changed it for me. Scholar Smart Start, which starts before you even enter college. Pretty much, it was all the scholar groups, but I managed to go ahead and connect with other Guardian Scholars just through coincidence, and it was such an amazing experience. I had so many firsts. I entered college so nervous, like I don't know anyone, I don't have any friends. But that event truly just made me excited for college. And still to this day, I talk to people from there. I see them in the center. I'm always like, oh my God, hi. And we talk and we talk. And even recently we had this one event where we had to paint these mummies. I don't know where mine is. Yes, those. And I ended up thinking like, oh, I wasn't gonna go, but then I ended up going, and it was just so much fun. I was having a stressful day, and it just shows like on a day-to-day basis how being a center in general can just really like brighten up my day and just make me happy. Like everyone there is so positive. So it's still a great program.
And Malia, do you want to mention to everyone where you work on campus?
Yes. I work currently as a student assistant at the center also. So I'm the one that's sitting at the front desk, just sitting there. But yeah, I recently started this semester and it's been great so far. I love it.
Awesome, Malia. Thank you so much. And Malia does far from just sit there. Like I don't have to worry when Malia's in there. Like it's like Malia has got this, right? And so getting that chance to like interact with folks, be here in the center. So Malia's not just in the center, she's in the center. So awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. Karina or Aaron, what for you has been some of your best experiences at CSUF or with the center?
Do you want to go first, Karina, or me?
Oh, you can go first.
Awesome. Okay. Wow, I have a few. I guess I could narrow it down to
name them off, Aaron. Don't even worry.
Okay,
Go.
awesome. Well, I'd also say the Scholar Smart Start for me, that was my first experience with not just Guardian Scholars, but just with Cal State Fullerton in general. I got to meet other scholars. I got to meet those in my cohort. And just people from different experience and like backgrounds. It was so cool. We got to eat good food together, share personal experiences, and just our plan for education. It was a really fun time. And then we ended the event with just an amazing trip to Disneyland. And I remember just everyone drinking hot cocoa and eating the beignets. And we were watching the fireworks show. It was a really fun time. I guess another thing that, or another event that really stuck with me would be our empowerment retreat. This was the last in-person event I got to do, and it was a while ago. It was back in January 2020, and it was fondest to me because we got to go up to the mountains in the snow, into a cabin. It was really cold, but really fun. We just got to got to talk with each other. It got really emotional. I got to open up about my background and my story, and even though I got to open some old wounds, it was just really good to be in a room with people with similar experiences or people that had experience that I had never been through, but we could just sit there together and feel for each other. And I just felt really comforted and loved. And I guess that really stuck with me of all the events. I'd say that was the deepest and most, I guess, beneficial for me to be able to go back and learn from my experiences and be proud of where I am and what future I want to pursue.
Aaron, thank you so much. Yeah, the great thing is I got to be at both of those events with you, that first Scholar Smart Start and then also the empowerment retreat. And for the donors who are on the call who are unfamiliar with what our empowerment retreat that Aaron is speaking about is where we select a group of scholars. It's not all scholars. It's really scholars that have demonstrated some maturity in moving forward in their healing journey, right? Because we really believe as foster-friendly allies that our students should not be re-traumatized, right? Because sometimes that foster youth label, people can just think they have a right to their story, and nobody has a right to your story, whether you're a foster youth or not. And so what we do is we work with having Alex Osorio, our CAPS liaison was with us. And our scholars, as well as us as staff, worked through prompts that helped us dig into our own experiences and our own challenges. And then those stories have been developed into part of the way that we have shared in foster-friendly ally training. Students are not required to share out their story, but it is a really powerful time and a great connection. And I think for the scholars, and I think Aaron, you can attest to this, like you came away feeling so much more connected to the other scholars that were on that trip with you, right? Because it was, like he said, even though they hadn't been through the same things, knowing, hey, I'm not alone in this, right? And it's a really powerful thing that we are looking to bring back and reinvent in some new ways with this kind of new direction that COVID has taken us, but it is a really powerful thing. So thank you so much, Erin, for sharing about those things. I appreciate it. Karina, what about for you?
Hi. I also got a few as well. I think my first one was like the first, the only Friendsgiving I've ever been to because COVID happened. So during the summer, I tend to travel a lot, so I didn't get to go to the Scholar Smart Start. So like the Friendsgiving was like the first like time I got to like experience everyone like there and like getting to meet everyone and just having like a blast and having a good time. Let's see, another one that I really enjoyed was during the pandemic. I tend to go to like a lot of these. So Darcy holds them mindful moments. There was one specific one that were like we went like it was like run by the Guardian Scholars Association. That when we kind of like joined together and like, we made our own thing, our own plan for it, and it was like really deep and like we got to like all like talk about like a bit more personal stuff and like usually the mindful moments was an hour, but like we ended up just like hanging out and call like for like 2 or 3 hours just chilling. And I thought that one was really nice. I very recently I also really enjoyed the scholar the not the scholar there was like a welcome back thing for the Guardian Scholars and like I really enjoyed that, like specifically because like that was kind of like my first time like in like since the pandemic where I got to like see everyone like in person, so I was like, oh yeah, that's right, you people exist outside of the internet. But yeah, and then like this one's like more of a general thing. I tend to go to the D12s a lot, the dinner for 12 Titans. I went to actually President Virgie's and Julie's D12 like this year, so I thought that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I actually connected with like the other students who also went to that, and like we all like have each other's social media and stuff like that, so that was really cool.
Awesome, Karina. Thank you so much. Yeah, dinner with 12 Titans is such a great thing. And that welcome back, right? Mindful moments, all these things. Thank you so much all for sharing. So now we'd love for you to share a little bit about what achievements have you experienced at Cal State Fullerton and how has the Center for Scholars contributed to your success?
I would say definitely, I think it's a minor achievement, but over the pandemic, I really I mentioned before, like went through like this mental health crisis, and was thinking about, even I was just thinking, I was like, I don't know if I could do college anymore, blah 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 blah. It was getting tough, and then so I don't know if you consider it achievement, but to me it is. Being able to like come back and having the support of the staff was really a huge thing that pushed me to go ahead and come back to school and finish my schooling and finish and come back to in person, especially. I feel like that's one achievement, and then also just being able to be on track and being able to go ahead and have my classes and stuff like that all helps to go achieve being first gen. Also, I'm currently on track to being first gen, so that's really exciting, and I couldn't have done it without the financial assistance, without the counselors, without the planning academically, and just so many other resources that really helped.
Awesome, Malia. Thanks so much. And that is absolutely an achievement, right? Because, being back on track and getting that desire back to get back into school, absolutely, that's achievement. So let's not diminish that. Miss Julie, you had your hand raised.
Well, I was just going to say, Malia, I don't think there's anything that's going to stop you or any of you. So don't even for a second, right? Erin or Karina, you either. One of the things that I personally love in the president's office, and for those of you who don't know this, every semester we have student workers. And so like Malia works in the center, we also have Guardian Scholars that work in the president's office. And so right now the whole office has Blythe, who's just killing it. And she also just did stage work for one of the plays, and it was an amazing play on campus. And so we got to see her hand. We purposely went to that play, not that we wouldn't have gone anyway, but knowing that she was doing it. And of course she was backstage, so we didn't see her, but boy, was it fun to know who was doing all of the scenes and the setup and the whole thing. So Guardian Scholars, you never, you just don't disappoint. We are always just so pleased to know, to see and witness your grit and your tenacity and your smile, right? And today's a new day, tomorrow's another new day, and we're all in this together. So always give us a shout if you need anything. And I know you have Tristan, Darcy, and Kenitsa. I mean, you've got the best crew going, but Fram and I are also here. So just know that's, you know, we're waiting in the wings for you. The other thing is I want to say hi. We've got 2 scholar alums in the house. Viviana, I think you're here, and Robin, I think you're still here. So I just wanted to say hi to you too, and thanks for joining us. So appreciate you guys plugging in with us today. It's great to see you.
Thank you so much, Julie, for that encouragement and that sharing. And I also want to brag on you a little bit too, Malia, as well, because Malia went from like, I don't know about this, right? We had some talks to this semester. Every time I have asked, hey, I need scholars for something, Malia's was like, I'm in, great, maybe like, let me share. And this was, we had chats about like, I don't know. And then here you are. So that too, my friend, is an achievement. So I'm gonna put that out there too and brag on you a little bit on there. So thank you for sharing, friend. Erin and Karina, what about you two? What are some achievements with CSUF and Center for Scholars? What are some things that, you know, you're very proud of?
Yeah, so I guess my personal achievement would be like just opening up like a lot more. I'm a fairly introverted person, but like being introverted doesn't mean you can like, you don't need to have like, you don't have a voice. So like I found like a good balance of like socializing with other people while also finding time for myself. So like you know, I feel a lot better now. Like I know how to like balance that. Academic achievements, I am graduating summa cum laude. So I'm like really happy about that. The first semester I was like, I don't even know about this. And then like I got all A's in my classes. I was like, might as well just try going for all A's like in all my other classes as well. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Awesome, Karina. Summa cum laude. Yeah, we discovered, she's like, I think I want to graduate summa cum laude. So we looked at it the other day, I'm like, you will be graduating summa cum laude, friends. So that was an exciting thing to discover together. But I also want to shout out Karina, because also she's sitting here going like, I'm more introverted. And yet she has also been someone who is recently, again, event planner for Guardian Scholars Student Association, right? And then also she just recently was on our student voice panel this past Friday for foster friendly ally training. And so helped welcome in 23 new allies to our campus. So that is also an incredible achievement. So thank you so much for being part of that, Karina. That was fantastic. You are killing it. Erin, what about you, friend? Because I know like there's some clubs you've been involved on campus. There's been some other things. So what would you like to share with us?
Yeah, I have. I would just say, you know, in the past semesters, I wouldn't really say I've achieved so much. I mean, I rushed a frat or two. I was for a short time. Actually, I connected with another scholar, and we revamped the Entrepreneurship Society on campus, and I was vice president and social media chair. But unfortunately, we had to cut that short because of COVID. And so since then, I kind of, you know, fell off. I felt just like Malia, like the pandemic was like really taking a hold of me, and like I couldn't bounce back. But I felt like empowered like this last semester, and then I'm actually doing the best I've done academically of like the entire time in college. So I feel really good right now. And so I'm more looking forward to my future semesters and what I can achieve there, what experiences I can have at Fullerton, and what I can get clubs and other things, involvement on campus, to join in on that. And yeah, I have time left on campus, and I actually want to make use of it. I want to do more. I want to be a part of it more. I'm looking to be more involved, especially towards the end of this semester with Guardian Scholars, and to participate in more events.
Awesome, Erin. And those are absolutely accomplishments, because getting a club revamped, Like you can't just do a club on your own because we know that, right? And so the fact that you and this other scholar got the entrepreneurship club back and going, right? Regardless of COVID or not, that's a huge accomplishment because that takes a lot of work. So I love that. And also, if you're looking to get involved, I am looking for a new Guardian Scholars Student Association board so we can absolutely talk, right? Get that going. We've got some other folks in the room. I know Karina is graduating, but you know, for the rest of you, I'm just saying we could get that started again. Well, that is fantastic, Erin. Those are incredible accomplishments. And to hear that you're having the best semester you've had, hello, that's an incredible accomplishment, right? What we talk about in Mindful Moments is we don't like to put qualifiers on big or small. Accomplishments are accomplishments, friends. So like, let's think about those. Don't talk yourself out of a room you've earned the right to be in, and you have earned the right to be in this room, friends. All right, so for my graduating scholar, right? Class 2021, but as you're all looking into the future as well, you can all answer this. What are the plans after graduation? I know we've talked a little bit about career aspirations, but do we have a dream job in mind, a dream school in mind? Like, what are we thinking about as we futurecast, right? We love to be in the moment, but we also love to dream big and look towards the future. So what are the kinds of things, maybe the graduate school you most want to get into, the dream job and helping folks, right? So what does that look like for y'all?
Yeah, so for the longest time I was kind of like, I don't want to do HR, but like so my first job, I worked with students with disabilities. So I worked in the DSS office for Cypress College. And like fairly recently, within the last couple of months, I was like thinking like, I really enjoyed that job. I really enjoyed talking to these people. I really enjoyed like making connections with these people. And so I was kind of like, I really want to get into higher education now. And I want to become like my dream job right now is like to become like a director for like the students with this like for the disability office. It's specific, so I don't know if that's something I'll like, no. So it's specific, but like I'm sure I can, as long as I work towards it, I'll be able to achieve it. I'm planning to get a couple years of work experience before I like go start looking at graduate programs. So yeah, that's my plan for right now. I'm super excited. I'm really happy. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karina. I love that. And I love when these like new changes happen because it's like, yep, love that. I love seeing that light come out and going like, this is what I want to do. That's fantastic. Malia or Erin?
Yeah, I kind of touched on it a bit earlier, but I plan on going to grad school. Recently decided on going to grad school. It wasn't always a plan, but now I'm pretty certain about it. In terms of schooling, I talked with Darcy a bit, and we were saying, I think it was either San Diego or UC San Diego, I forgot which one, but they had great grad programs for counseling and psychology. So I'm looking into that. And yeah, I really want to become a school counselor, trying to figure out what type of counseling I want to do still, but mostly I do want to do something with psych. I do know I want to do that.
Awesome, Malia. Thank you so much. Erin, what about for you?
Well, I have taken the time this semester to really just narrow down what I want to do in the management area. There's a lot of like different possibilities you could do. I'm more narrowing down to supply chain management just because this semester I'm just like, oh, I'm really good in this specific area. I want to explore that in a career. As for grad school, I might just also be taking the route Karina's doing, getting a little bit of experience in between there and then looking at a graduate program. I'd really like to attend UCI for any graduate program there, but we'll see where the wind takes me. And then also for my minor, my plan in between that to just go back and get my bachelor's in that. Like I said, I do want to study. I wanted to study abroad, but I might be just looking at just taking like an internship or possibly just work abroad in that area. I don't really know exactly what I'd like to do. I just know that I'm very like well interested in like languages and the concept of like how a language works. So maybe something like translation or just teaching a foreign language or teaching English and transcribing like that. But I guess I just need to really just like see where I land in the next semester and then figure out everything. But those are just some ideas of what I'd like to do.
Love it, Erin. Thank you so much. That's great. So one final question for you all is, as students, right? Whether you came in as a first year or a transfer, as a Guardian Scholar, what is it about Cal State Fullerton that made you choose CSUF?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
You're good. You're good, Karina.
So there's like a lot of reasons. I was like, so I like live like right in between Cal State Long Beach and Cal State Fullerton. So I was like on the fence between those two because like location wise, like there's like, you know, like it was like 16 minutes for both. It doesn't really matter. And then like I started looking to it and like you know, I heard that Cal State Fullerton, like, you know, they have the better business program. And then I was like, okay, you know what, like maybe like I was starting to lean like a lot more into it. And then like kind of what sealed the deal at my, so I transferred, by the way, at my community college, they one of my advisors, my EOPS advisors was like, oh, well, since you are a former foster student, there is this program called the Guardian Scholars. And like Cal State Fullerton has a really good Guardian Scholars program. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, so I like, you know, I was like, that kind of sealed the deal for me. I was like, kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll just, you know, Cal State Fullerton, like it has like everything that I need and everything that I want that I'm looking for. But yeah, that's how I came to my decision.
Great. Thanks, Karina.
It wasn't really, I'll say it was once I toured the campus, that's when I knew. I was like, okay, like this is my environment, this is my, you know, my spiel, not my spiel. This is like, you know, my group of people. I really like, I think this campus, well, to me, it's just beautiful. I love walking around. I just sit in random spaces sometimes and just absorb what's going on around me. So yeah, I think that's it. And then plus, I don't know. It was just really encouraging. I feel like the staff, even before I went to the school, was just super engaged with me already. So that's why I decided to choose Cal State Fullerton.
Thank you so much, Malia. Aaron, what about you?
Well, for me, I was between Cal State Fullerton and San Jose. I think at the time I was coming straight out of high school. I was just trying to find a way to escape like some bad home life. And I decided like, I just want to get as far away as possible. And then I got to meet the staff at Guardian Scholars, and just from meeting them, everyone was so nice and kind and warm. And I was like, wow, this is going to be my experience. And this is definitely an option I want to pursue. And at first I didn't actually get into Fullerton, but I did get into Guardian Scholars, and then I was able to get into Fullerton. And so at that point I was just like, okay, you know what? This is definitely where I want to be. It's the closest school actually to where the general area where I lived. So I wouldn't be home, but I would be home. So from there on, everything was just history. I got to meet everyone and take part in all these events and programs. And it's definitely been a great experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you all, scholars. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Karina, Malia, and Aaron, thanks so much for being here and sharing. We always appreciate hearing your experiences and you spending your time, especially in this week 12 when we know the end of the semester is coming. So thank you so much for being here. And I think I'm going to hand it back over for one more slide as we kind of finish up this evening. Thank you again for being here, folks.
Great. Thank you, Darcy, again for moderating that. That was a great Q&A session. And again, thank you, Guardian Scholars, for participating. That was just fabulous. And every time we do one of these, I always learn a little bit more about each and every one of you. So that's always really cool and special. So again, I'd like to thank all of you donors for being here today and spending this past hour with us. It's been fantastic getting to see some of you on Zoom, and hopefully we get to meet you also on campus sometime soon. Again, my name is Trista O'Connell. My contact information is right there on the screen. Also, if you have any questions for Katie, who's the Executive Director of Development for University Advancement, her contact information is here as well. I'm sure you already have that information, but just in case you don't. I'd like to give an additional shout out to Julie Vergie for being here today. Thank you. Always fabulous to have you join us. And also to Dr. Rochelle Woods. So thank you also for being here too. Thank you. to each and every one of you for your continued support of this wonderful, fantastic program. So it really is special for each of us who are members of the staff here to really be part of this, this program. So thank you again for your generosity and have a great afternoon.